Arunachala, 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 Shiva, 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 Shiva. Since I received your first kiss, feels as if I've never danced before, as if I've never even sung before, as if I've never walked the streets of this world, as if, as if, as if, as if I died and was reborn yesterday, as if I died and was reborn yesterday, as if, as if, as if, as if. Since I met your loving eyes, it feels as if I've never seen the sunshine, as if I've never felt the wind caress my skin, as if I've never been alive before, as if, as if, as if, as if, as if I died and was reborn yesterday, as if I died and was reborn yesterday, as if, as if, as if, as if. Since you have entered my heart, I know no pleasure that doesn't come from my peace of being. I know no music that doesn't rise from the silence within. As if, as if, as if, as if I died and was reborn yesterday, as if I died and was reborn yesterday, that I'll be kissed from within. Kissed from within. Now that I'll be kissed from within. That I'll be kissed from within. Kissed from within. That I'll be kissed from within. Nothing to hold on to, nowhere to go, no burdens to carry anymore, no concepts to marry. This life is for you, only for truth. This life is for you, beloved, beloved. So where would I go now? When you showed me I'm motionless, and what could be rejected here in this vast emptiness? This life is for you, only for truth. This life is for you, beloved, beloved. Here I am, like dust under your feet, the most sacred space of all. Such a sweet discovery to see the walls of illusions fall. 'Cause I cannot die, I cannot die, yes, I cannot die. Beloved, most beloved, this life is for you, only for you. This eye is truth, beloved, beloved, most beloved.
Beloved, all that you perceive is transient, is passing. But you are the unchanging one, timeless and perfect. Rid yourself of all delusions and come lay down here in the silence of me. For unlike time, you are not passive. You are the formless within all forms, the silence and stillness beside all movement. limits of time and manifestation. Arise into the fullness of your real nature as the unchanging self, the goal and source of Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. You give nothingness to nothingness. Take me away until only I. You give emptiness to emptiness. Take me away till only I. Before a wave rises, it is ocean. Before desire moves, it is emptiness. Give everything to everything. Take what I am not until only I. You give nothingness to nothingness. Take me away until only I. This eternal moment, there are no desires. Just keep quiet and see what you really are. Before a wave rises, it is ocean. For desire moves.
Hey, Guru Jyoti, can you hear me? Can you hear me? We need one space for Ananda ji to join, so can you please make some space for him? Okay, thank you. Okay.
Take me away until only I. You give nothingness to nothingness.
Mm. Hey, hello, Guru Jyoti, can you hear me? We need one space for Ananda ji to join in, so could you please leave to make some space for him? or if anyone in the hangout, if you feel to leave for sometimes, please leave to make space for him because okay. What? Uh, my dear Vishal, we need one space for Anandaji to join in, as we have 10 persons in the hangout now. So can you please leave to make some space for him?
Sri Lord Shiva Bhagavati Sri Ma Durga Bhagavati Sri Hare Rama Bhagavati Om Shri Hare 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 Om Shri Hare 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 Shri Hare Krishna Bhagavati Shri Siddhartha Bhagavati Shri Lord Christ Bhagavati Om Shri Hare 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 Om Shri Hare 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 Shri Lord Shiva Bhagavati Shri Ma Durga Bhagavati Shri Hare Rama Bhagavati Om Shri Hare 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 Om Shri Hare 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 Shri Hare Krishna Bhagavati Shri Siddhartha Bhagavati Shri Lord Christ Bhagavati Om Shri Hare 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 Om Shri Hare 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 Shri Ramana Bhagavati Shri Punjaji Bhagavati Shri Mujiji Bhagavati Om Shri Hare 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 Om Shri Hare 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 Shri Lord Shiva Bhagavati Om Shri Hare 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 Om Shri Hare Hare Hare
Thank you, my dear. Namaste, everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang this morning. Sadhguru Shri Muji Ji ki Jai. Welcome back. It really feels like I've forgotten what happens here. What do we do? So Monday is the question day for open Satsang. Actually, I've been sharing that the feeling that is here now is that I've been sharing for almost 3 years now, and almost every day, which means there must be at least 500 to 600 satsangs somewhere. Also, there are 7 books out now, thanks to Amaya and the Seva team. So you must be tired of hearing my voice now.
You're freaking out, Sia.
Huh?
You're freaking out, Sia.
You feel like no, I'm not announcing retirement. But what I was feeling to say was that I feel like questions now. What can happen is that it can just feel like a bit of spoon feeding. There's a question and its answer. Although it is very good because it dissolves our conditioning, but sometimes it can feel like it's just available to you like a machine. You put a question in and out the answer comes. And maybe sometimes it gets in the way of our deeper contemplation. Sometimes. So maybe I also ask you a lot of questions now and see what is your own direct experience, and you speak from there. And then we can look at things together more in this way. Especially for those who've been in satsang for some time. My mic is not connected. Okay.
Is it on?
USB.
Now it's on. Hopefully you caught out. Should have been working. Sometime. And also I feel like questioning your answers. You see? Because I feel like many times we've heard all the answers now and we feel like we know the right answers. You see? But with many of you, when the rubber hits the road, straight out the window, you see. So I've been seeing some of that as well. So for some time at least, I won't be like a satsang jukebox. You put the question coin in and out the answer comes. I like it very much, especially for those who've been in the Sangha for some time to also tell me when they ask a question about the question is. So then the question is really on fire because you have contemplated it, you've looked at it, and it's burning with that fire of contemplation. And then when it's brought up, we can have an inquiry together. Yeah. It's good? No?
We don't really know what our next contemplation
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Can we come and just say
Yeah.
whatever you...
Yeah. This is very good. He says, sometimes we don't even know what our next contemplation should be. And can we then come up and you say, okay, can you contemplate this? Yes. Very happy. Truly the intent here has never been to lowers. It's not been the sense that I want to create a dependency, you see, and we have a group of people who are dependent on the answers coming from here or something like this. all of you are shining very beautifully with your own light, and I want to put some more ghee in that light. Pratna says exam time. No, that's not the intent really. What can fail is only the spiritual ego, you see.
Really like also Rishi has done, I heard that Guruji has done that in Sahajara.
Yeah.
Not everybody. But I like it. It's like feeling is kind of like exciting.
Yes.
Like it feels very good.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
To be very strong.
Yeah.
Like Steve Jobs in Satsang.
Huh?
You know Steve Jobs?
No, take the mic. Give the mic.
Apparently, he used to just get in the elevator at Apple and he'd turn around to just pick someone and say, "You, what are you doing to
What do you do?"
make Apple a better company?" And if they were like, he'd be like, "You're fired." Go, pat your- So everybody was constantly like,
Trying to make sure they don't get in the same elevator. Yeah, it's good. Hey, you've been in satsang for 6 months now. What are you doing here? Out. Should I give you some preparatory notes? Because what you're talking about is what she's saying. What you're talking about is really very simple. And basically it depends on what we are presenting ourselves to be. You see? So if we're presenting ourselves to be a person who's living in society, living in this world, then what is our problem? Our problem is the problem of suffering. We want happiness. You see? So how to become rid of this suffering is the first fundamental problem that we are looking at. So how to be rid of suffering? How to be rid of suffering? Who's going to say?
Just recommend it.
check and see who it
He says, Azhar says, you can hear, no, by coming to satsang. And if you can't come to satsang, she says, what's the hangout? And just if I really retire or there is no satsang available, no, and all the Advaita teachers go on strike. In India, we've been having these strikes. So, you see, for 1 year we have Advaita strike. Then,
check and see who's the suffering applies to. Just look and see who's actually suffering and who it applies to.
check on who the sufferer is.
Yeah.
Yes. And once we find that there is no individual sufferer here, what do we find that is the root cause of suffering?
Usually there's a voice,
Yeah.
which is very intimate and familiar, which is trying to describe the way things should be in contrast to what is.
To what is. So the voice comes. What can we do with this voice?
Well, the voice is always referring to somebody,
Yeah.
but it's only ever like an inference. The suffering ends when you look and question who is it that it's talking.
So if the voice is there, welcome to the school, Ananta school. So if the voice is there, then we are helpless, no? Because the voice continues. You see, the voice comes. There is no actual sufferer here, but it's always speaking that you are the sufferer. Then are we stuck in this with no escape? So what can be if there is an escape, what could that be?
But it's like you don't need to escape, because if you just see who it's speaking about doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Sometimes for me it feels more like there can be a energetic sense of resistance, which maybe gets labelled suffering, but the actual suffering itself only seems to exist in.
So just with the appearance of a thought, is there automatically suffering? No. What needs to be done to milk the suffering out of it?
Belief in, you have to believe the idea of the individual.
Yeah. Now, you see, the trouble is that I'm so used to believing. What do? It feels like I have no control over this belief.
So the belief for suffering, the first belief that has to be taken is the belief in the individual.
Yes.
And then there's anything beyond that actually to do with the suffering itself is like a secondary assumption. So for me, I would say always go back to the root one. Just look and see what is it within your experience or my experience that I'm still pointing to and on some level saying that's me. Because suffering can only apply to that. Whether it's just the body, if the body's in pain, or whether it's like some kind of projection about I should have a better job or I should have more money, and it's further down. So if belief is going automatically, just see what is it that's being believed to be me, I would say.
Yes. But suppose I'm in an argument with my wife. There's no time. You see, there's no time to check. I enjoy these times very much. Once we had satsang like this where I was asking the questions, and someone came late, Tarun came late, and he joined satsang, and I was asking all these questions. They were saying, what am I doing in satsang with this guy? He doesn't know anything. Yeah.
So like it seems like in everyone's life, day-to-day life, that there comes up a moment where we get dragged into the circumstances or whatever is occurring into the appearance. And the best advice that I always felt is that when the situation is not that much difficult, then in the easy situations, try to be present, try to keep looking, checking. And as we do this in the easy times, then we find that in those difficult situations, like in the family or in a job or in any other kind of life circumstances which triggers kind of an intense environment, then if we are already like in easy situations, moving from a state of presence then from a state of person, then the difficult circumstances also seems to become more easy and easy, and the impulse to get dragged along, to get entangled into that situation decreases and decreases. And there comes a time when we see that although there comes a response to those intense situations, but the moment that situation or that intense circumstances goes away, it doesn't stick, it doesn't leave any residue with it, and so you realize that you are free.
Very good. Yes. And then we come to the hangout also, lots of chat.
Okay, so about having an argument or something,
Yeah.
we also don't have to believe that it shouldn't happen, because like, what do we know? It's not like if we have an argument, like we automatically are believing in
Yeah.
egoic identity. It
Yeah.
just can happen and like play out, and we don't have to feel guilty about that. And if there's like true openness and integrity, then like after it's done, you can like just look back and like, what was there,
Yeah.
and that will happen automatically with
Yeah.
openness. There's just like scanning, like what happened there, and where did it come from?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like nothing is happening to you, even if you have a belief. Like, yeah, like just enjoy. Don't take it so seriously. That's how I feel.
Very good. Let's see on the chat. Lucia said, don't believe your next thought. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you. And on YouTube, yeah, good. So, but doesn't it seem like if I don't have these beliefs, then what about all my plans and ambitions? Won't I just be in bed all day?
Is that your experience? Do you plan
I feel like
your whole day?
I was crossing the street and I said, I'm not going to believe a thought. I just waiting at the corner of the street and I didn't know whether to go left or right. I just stood there for half an hour.
That's so funny. I've heard that one before from someone else.
I have to pull on these things.
Also, that time I told him that like, that's not really trust or anything. It's like, just, it doesn't matter. Like, if you wait there for 5 seconds or 50 minutes or 5 hours, and when you move, the thought comes, haha, I made you move. It doesn't matter that it was the thought. It doesn't mean that it was the thought that moved you. It's just like, thought comes then. Right?
But what about responsibility? I have children, wife and children. Who's going to... If I just let go of my thoughts, what if I just abandon my children and become a sadhu?
If that does happen, then that's what's meant to happen. But it would be doubtful that it would. because even believing the thought, what would happen if I left all my children, that's still believing
Yeah.
the thought. So it's not happening now. And the more you look into thoughts and beliefs and this illusory identity, the less thoughts will arise to bring about this seeking identity of becoming a sadhu who's going to search for peace out there, and it'll be found wherever you are in the world, whether you're in like a job in the city or in the Himalayas or anything.
But if I really let go, are you sure that my life will be okay?
You only have to look at all of the awake beings around the world to see that their lives are beautiful and more than okay, so that can satisfy the mind's worry about it. But to really let go doesn't mean to let go of life, it just means to let go of believing that you're the one actually making anything happen and planning, and because it's already happening and unfolding.
Are you saying that I haven't been doing any of this anyway?
Seems like that, but no.
I haven't been.
You haven't been.
Okay. Okay, give it to Shiv. So if
This is so strange. It's like going to a chemistry class and the teacher.
What are you doing? So if I haven't been doing, then who has?
The real you.
The real me?
The real you, what we are trying to point to here in Satsang, has been doing everything. And Satsang is not trying to start a new way of living. It has always been that way. We were just not noticing it. So don't worry about any sudden changes and all of that.
Then I have no experience of this real me that you speak about. Is it just an idea? And I should just believe that there's a real me who's taking care of it. I'm not that devotional. Can I find this me? Okay, before we go there, let's recap for a minute. So what have we looked at now? We looked at suffering and how the root cause of suffering is this sense of personal identity, that I exist as a person. And what nourishes this sense of personal identity is only our thoughts, more specifically our belief in our thoughts. You see? So what happens is that there are two forces at play. When the energetic construct of a thought comes, there is a force of attention and the force of belief. So you'll find that even if attention goes to a thought, unless it gets our belief, it cannot really become part of our conditioning or our identity. And only our identity or our conditioning is the cause of suffering, because inherently it is in resistance with what is. You see? So as we are letting go of the idea of a separate me, by letting go of what our thoughts are saying, and automatically as we become open and the end of this resistance, you find that suffering becomes lighter and lighter and lighter. You see? That's why I've said often that the simple way for the end of suffering is just simply to not believe our next thought. And some of you have responded in the past by saying, but that's simpler than it sounds. Which is true, there is something in that, you see. Because the identities which have been deeply nourished, it is not that easy to just let them go because they seem very attractive for our belief. So if you believe for a long time that I am a liar, or if you believe for a long time that I am ugly, or if you believe for a long time that I am unworthy, then when these thoughts about this topic come, they still seem to get our belief. So what to do about these beliefs? We look at that identity in particular, if we can, and ask who is unworthy. And when we find that there is nobody like that, then that becomes lighter again. So the inquiry and this openness go hand in hand. You see? So as long as there is a sense that there is a sufferer, there is also the sense that there is a doer. And as long as there is a sense that there is a doer, the best way to extinguish this sense of doership is to do the inquiry. You see? So we find that there is no individual doer. Then we were looking at if the individual presumed entity is not the doer, then who must the doer be? You see, it is not that, let's look at whether it is that there is nobody here, no person, and yet somehow that non-existent person could be doing something in our life. So this is what we were looking at next. If I, or what I believed myself to be in the past, is not really the doer, then who is the doer, who is the mover of this world, this universe?
That which is really present here, that which is always here, has to be that which is doing everything.
And what is this which is always present here?
So this is where we explore what we really are.
Yeah.
And if we look at what we've called me because of conditioning for a long time, it is a weird kind of mixture of memories and conditioning and experiences and certain things similar.
Yeah.
And we always think and feel there is a solid me, some entity me. But if we really look, it's not possible. It's more like an effect. It's like something that just comes and goes in thoughts. So there's no solid me in that sense.
Yes.
So the question then becomes, then what am I?
Yes.
What has always been here? That which is use the word awareness for that. So that
Yes.
so that which in this moment is aware of whatever is going on, sound, sight, any kind of experience that you can talk about, whatever notices anything that happens, even some very subtle thoughts and feelings and emotions. The question, who am I, is pointing towards that. And we need to look for ourselves. The question and the words will point, but we have to take the pointing and then drop the words, and we have to check in that direction.
Yeah. When I check, I don't find anything.
When we try to check, we notice, something notices that we're trying to check. Even this is noticed automatically by something. Now that something is not an object. It itself, because it itself cannot be seen as an object. And we are used to talking in terms of objects, we get confused. That's very natural. But even this confusion, this checking, this question, these words, the sound, even now as we are talking, something is noticing all of this.
The question is that you say that this one is always present, not going. But there are times where there are no sounds perceived or visuals seen. So if this one is always present, then why is it that there are these times where I don't notice any sounds, I don't see any visuals, it's all blank?
So are you referring to what we call as deep sleep?
Sleep state, yeah.
In fact, this deep sleep state really helps us in looking at what we really are.
Yeah.
So we say when we all have a very natural experience of deep sleep since childhood. And if we try to describe deep sleep, we struggle with words, and the maximum many of us are able to come up with is there was nothing. There was nothing.
Yeah.
But what gets unnoticed is that there was something which saw that there was nothing. So that which saw that there was nothing in deep sleep also is what it is, that which is being pointed to here.
Okay. That's a beautiful answer, but the question was a little different. The question was that if this that notices all of this sounds, visuals, all of that is ever present, then why is it that sometimes it doesn't notice any of this in the sleep state?
So deep sleep state is a state where that which notices is there, but there's nothing to notice. There is no object. So that is why when we try to describe it,
So what goes away?
This entire experience of waking state. Yeah, so when we go from waking state to deep sleep, or we come out of deep sleep into waking state, we can all check in our experiences. So this like sound and light show, right, is in front of something right now, and in deep sleep it's like this, all of this sound and light show is absorbed into that, and only that is.
Yeah. But even I don't exist in sleep state.
Yeah, so this I that does not exist in sleep state is the I we have always believed ourselves to be in the waking state. And that is a very clear indicator that this is not the real I, because it doesn't survive one state.
Yes. So is it that when the waking state comes, only this sound and light show comes on? That is the only difference between sleep and waking?
I don't personally have the experience of the transition phase very clear.
Not even the transition, but what is the difference?
So the difference is this, so in the waking state there is a clear sense of being, or a clear sense of aliveness. Something is alive.
So this sense of aliveness, is it also part of the show?
If we check, we find that this aliveness stays as it is. It's like the background in the waking state, and the show goes on inside it somehow. And within that show, identification also happens at times because of habit, conditioning, and within the show, satsang also happens.
Yes. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Okay, who wants to come from the hangout?
I can come, Father.
Father.
Okay, one by one. So Anil can come first. So can you recap where, after the last recap, where we progressed from there?
Half of the things actually I was just not listening. I was just looking at you. The last one which I captured from I think his name is
Shiv,
Sakhuja,
Shiv.
no?
Yes, Shiv, Shiv.
Shiv. Okay, okay. Um, it is all fine, Father. Everything is just an appearance. This I-amness is also an appearance. What he said was that satsang was happening in the this being. Uh, this being is also a kind of a just an appearance.
So what we were trying to unravel was, we said that the individual identity, this sense of personhood, cannot be the doer because no person exists. So then if this one is not the doer, then who is the doer?
Nothing happens, so who is the doer? Nothing is being done, then where will be the doer? It is neither the person nor the God. It appears to happen by a force
Hmm.
which itself is transitory actually. What we say
Yeah.
the God does everything, but God itself is transitory. It has no essence.
Yes. So this movement of phenomena in this appearing world, you see, what is the cause of this movement?
The cause and effect is again illusory, Bhagwan. I mean, there is nothing like cause and effect. If a crow actually sits on a tree of the coconut and the coconut falls, then the cause and effect is just in the mental. It is just a mental because the crow, it sat on the coconut tree. So around that time, the coconut fell. So because of the crow, the coconut fell.
Yes, yes.
There
But
is no cause, there is no cause and effect. Everything is just a happening actually.
yes, yes. So this happening, is it purely random?
Yeah, it is purely random. It is purely random. It is nothing like, it is only a kind of an expression, for the seeker that you don't have to do anything. You are not the doer. Everything is being taken care of, by the God, and everything is in harmony, perfect harmony. This is only a pointer.
Yes, yes. So there is a certain coherence in your words. How come your words are not just completely random? X, Y, Z, A, B, C.
Sorry? Oh,
There's
okay, okay. I got it. Yeah, I got it. It has no meaning, na? It is no meaning. It is again an appearance actually. Within the appearance, something seems logical. You speak some logic, I speak some logic, which is a spiritual logic. It appears to make some sense,
yes.
but it is like a Russian, no? I could be speaking Russian, you could be speaking Spanish.
Mm.
It doesn't make any difference. It is just a kind of a platform on which there is a common understanding. That's all.
Yes, yes. So this common understanding is common for who?
Yeah. So you're trapping, you're trapping me now.
You say that there is a common understanding. For some commonality, first there must be some differentiation in the first place, but presume that it's not even that. But for commonality, there must be some, you said, common platform or common understanding. Common to who?
I can give you two answers.
Hmm.
One, which has no answer. Okay. I have nothing to answer. It is pure silence. Silence understands the silence. Now, another one you see, another one is the common platform, not in the real sense, but in the flux sense.
Hmm.
The flux, the common flux, understands everything. This is the common platform. But this is also not the truth.
Yes. Yes.
The truth is the source of this common platform of the flux,
Yes. Yes.
which the flux cannot describe. The flux cannot describe in the words.
Yes. So you say that the source of the flux is real, the flux itself is unreal. How can the unreal appear from the real?
Yeah, I got your point. Because, yes, this has been a big, actually, lacuna here. Logically speaking, if you take, like it used to be in the engineering, entrance examinations, infinity minus 1 is infinity. Infinity minus 1 is infinity. So anything which arises out of the infinity or anything which arises out of nothingness cannot be somethingness. It appears to be separate from the nothingness as if it is somethingness, but it is nothingness only. So both two, they are not two actually. They appear to be quantitatively two, but qualitatively it is the same. So what you are saying is fine. The flux, the quality of the flux and the source of the flux, it has to be the same qualitatively. But the mind does not understand this. There is no honest, there is no eureka on this. Because then the game is over, no? The game is over. Then there is no separation. There is no separation then. All is one, and that is not me, only him.
Okay. Okay, very beautiful. Let me recap what Shiv said and what you said. So where we stopped last time was to see that as we are coming to this seeing that there is no individual entity here, we also see that there is no individual sufferer or individual doer. You see? And all of this doership and suffering was presumed through our belief in our thoughts. Then we said that if I am not the doer, then who must the doer be? You see? And we're seeing that there comes this presence of this sense I am, beingness, consciousness, whatever we might like to call it. And as Shiv said, everything seems to appear within that. You see? Then Anilji is saying that actually even this I am is not really distinct from its source. They are one. You see? So if this consciousness is the one doer, one experiencer, and yet it is not apart from the awareness from which it comes, therefore fundamentally no division actually happened. Very good. Okay, Lucia wanted to come next. She can come.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hello.
Hello, my dear.
Hi. There was a seeing today of intense beauty. I was driving along the coast and then through the countryside, and there was just this awareness of extreme beauty, and then a feeling to merge with it, wanting to merge with it. So I asked the question, who wants to merge with this? And it seemed like there was no real answer because it was an illusion that I'm not merged with it. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
But still there was a question. The question hadn't gone away. And there was a separation in the seeing, is the best I can say. And I thought, well, the next time I have a chance to talk to Ananta about this, this would be a really good thing to ask.
So let's first look at a concept which you talked about, which is awareness. Could you elaborate on what this awareness is?
All right. It's a hard to know. It's a knowing. It's an observing. It's a there's an experience of, oh wow, look at this. Isn't this whatever it is, fill in the blank. Isn't this beautiful? Isn't this intense? Isn't this wonderful? Isn't this peaceful? So there's an observing, a sensing, a noticing.
So let me ask you a similar question to what I asked you.
Okay.
So there can be a touching of this flower. You see, it can be sensed.
Yes.
So is this experience of the touch what you mean by awareness?
This is a hard question.
Getting harder as we're going along.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't think so, because somehow okay, I'm thinking you said flower, and then I was thinking about the dinner I had. I went out with a friend.
Yeah.
We had a wonderfully tasteful dinner. It was really delicious dinner.
Yeah.
So I was really aware of that. Like, this was great food.
Yeah.
But it felt like it was a part of me. I didn't feel separate from it.
Yeah.
Somehow it's the visual seeing is perceived as being more separate than the touching or the tasting.
Could you elaborate, because I was not sure whether you said that it is the same as awareness, or the touching seems like it is different from awareness. Okay, let me provide some clues.
Okay.
So we say that, and it is our experience, hopefully, that awareness is unchanging. You see? So if awareness is unchanging, how is this change happening in awareness that sometimes it is not hearing, tasting, touching, any phenomena, and sometimes there seems to be this possibility to phenomenal experiences. How can this change happen in the unchanging?
That's a good question. It's a really, it's a very good question. Good question. Yeah, that's why I brought this up, because it seems the touching and the tasting is part of sensing and experiencing, and it is part of awareness. But the seeing seems farther away for some reason. So it seems like it's separate from. Okay, it can't be separate from awareness. And okay, nothing can be separate from awareness. But there's some perceptual difference in the perceiving of that part of awareness. Oh my God. Oh dear.
One of the reasons why I love interacting with Lucia is I love the laugh. I love this laughter.
Oh my God. Oh.
Also, what you have to remember is that we are not to have any guidelines. Like there is nothing which we have to just intellectually agree with to say, okay, there can be no separation in awareness. Let's see if that is actually true.
Okay.
Repeat the question. Okay, there's a request to repeat the question. So the question is that we said that awareness is presumably the unchanging one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unmoved, unchanging, unconcerned. And there are times where all of this phenomenal tasting, touching, feeling, seeing, sight happens, and on other times this is not there. How does this change happen in the unchanging? Like in the sleep state? Yeah. Because if these to perceive, to see, to touch, to feel, to taste are attributes of awareness, then how is it that these seem to go away and to come?
That's the question.
Yeah. Okay, Zia wants to take a shot and then we come back to Lucia. Give her the mic.
Cool.
So everything phenomenal that arises, so sensations such as smell or taste or touch, which are phenomenal, but then also thought arises in that category as well as being also phenomenal. So just like in like a dream. Oh, that's really off-putting.
But I have to do it every
My
day.
train of
You lost a train of thought.
Thank goodness.
Come, jump back on the train.
So just like things that arise in the phenomenal world, and they disappear. It's the same when we have a dream. So they'll arise in the dream, like we can sense and taste and touch in the dream, but they also fall away. But the only thing that remains, which is constant, is the awareness of them. And when it all dissolves, when these phenomena just relax, the awareness is all that remains.
So are you saying that there's a qualitative distinction between awareness and this sort of phenomenal perceiving of objects.
A distinction between awareness and
This phenomenal touching, tasting.
Yeah. But it has nothing to do with the phenomenal world. It's completely beyond all phenomena.
Yes. So there is a distinction. It's not a trap.
No. I don't know if you could use the word distinction, or it doesn't resonate here because there's to stay a distinction is kind of in separation. That phenomena arises within the awareness, but it's not. Phenomena. But I don't know, to say distinction seems separate.
That's good enough. It's very okay. Let's see what Lucia is saying.
Well, I was thinking that everything is in awareness. Everything is existing in awareness. But up until now, or up until today, there was this sense that if I can touch it or taste it, somehow it makes it a part of me.
Like this, like.
Should I repeat that?
Yes. This.
Okay. So.
Just define what you mean by me as well.
Oh yes, with me. Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, define what's me. Well, the me is.
Come closer. We'll hear better. No?
Oh boy. The me that thinks it's separate from it all. That's the me we're talking about, or I'm talking about. But somehow that me has gotten smarter. And so it can differentiate, or it tries to differentiate between, well, if I'm eating something really great, then I know it and I'm one with it. Or if I'm touching that flower, that's beautiful and I know that. Or I'm petting a cat or something. But if I'm looking at it in the distance, at the beautiful ocean, there really was the sense of wanting to merge with it on some deep level. But I wasn't going to go jump into the ocean from my, the cliff on my car. It was not that kind of desire. But but there really was this urge to merge. So I questioned it. I did the inquiry on that urge and said, so who wants to merge? And it didn't make sense that this illusory self wanted to merge. Like, what does it care? You know what I mean? It's an illusion anyway.
So this me.
Yes.
Did we find any tangibility to this me?
It's getting rather sharp because it's been in satsang for a while now. So it's, you know, it's.
What do you mean? You have to elaborate on that. What do you mean it's getting sharp?
Well, it's it thinks it knows more because it and I have been coming to satsang and listening to you, and been reading your book and all this, so that me thinks, oh, I'm really sharp now. I'm really smart. I'm really wise.
Yes. And how does it
I'm a
present
satsang
itself?
wise.
Besides the thought, which can say all these satsang things now, is there any other evidence of this me?
No, there's no evidence of it. There really isn't. There's no more evidence than there was, or there's no less evidence. It's the same old illusion. And it's just funny. I don't know why it's funny. It's just funny.
So if we cannot find this one, you see, then we can just keep it aside for some time and talk about what we can find. And we came to this beautiful place where we were looking at what is here, what is actually here. We found that the individual doer and the individual sufferer is not here. But we found that there is a presence of being, of existing, which seems to be here. And in the light of this presence come all of these phenomenal forces, some that seem internal to us. Actually, there is no distinction, but we can say some like the forces of attention and belief, others which are the phenomenal forces of gravity, light, sound, electricity. All these appear. You see? Now, if I was to say that with the birth of this presence, or this consciousness, it also comes with the faculties of the senses, the powers to touch, to feel, to taste, to see. You see? How would that feel?
It would feel sweet. Unified.
Now, the awareness which remained, which was there in the sleep state and is here now in the waking state, did that change in any way? Because now there are these phenomenal powers to perceive through all of these senses that we have.
Something's inside is saying, oh. But I'm not even sure why it's saying, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And even these inner perceptions, you see, even these inner perceptions are reliant on our attention, isn't it?
Yes.
And play of attention starts in resonance or in lockstep with the movement of consciousness or beingness itself. You see? And all that is phenomenally perceived relies on this attention. Can we say that awareness itself is not qualitatively different from this phenomenal perceiving? I'm not sure if the question makes sense anymore.
Can you repeat that?
Yes, yeah. Let me see if I can make it simpler.
Okay.
So if phenomenal perceiving depends on our attention, and we cannot say that there is the movement of attention in sleep state. You see? So we must be able to see that this phenomenal perceiving is also a functioning of consciousness working in step with our attention rather than the primal awareness that is spoken about, which is the unchanging awareness.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
So
it makes
yes.
sense.
Yes. So this awareness remains unchanged, irrespective of whether there is phenomenal perceiving or there is no phenomenal perceiving, whether the movement of attention is happening or no movement of attention is happening. You see? Because for the phenomenal perceiving, there must be this attention which brings it to life. You see? They cannot be perceiving without attention, and yet awareness remains. And awareness is aware of this movement of attention as well.
So I'm wondering if, because I just understood everything you said for a change. Actually understood what you said, and now I'm thinking that what was being perceived was awareness was perceiving itself as a play of consciousness. Like there's the ocean, and it was beautiful.
Yeah. Yes.
And I thought of what you had said, I don't know, 3 or so weeks ago about that everything is, the play of consciousness is like, an inch on top of the waves, and everything else is underneath. And it was such a beautiful day today, and to see the ocean, and I thought about that. I thought, oh, everything is just awareness under that, under the waves.
Yes. Yes.
So perhaps what was happening was the awareness that is me, or is through me, was perceiving the play of consciousness as awareness.
Okay, so when I ask you the question, are you aware now? What happens?
It's an automatic yes. It's like, oh yeah, of course, I'm aware now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. But is it the same as the automatic yes, which is is the world round or spherical or whatever? Is there a difference between these two questions?
Well, that's very funny because I happened to have seen a bumper sticker yesterday, on the back of a car, and it said, "In your heart, you know it's flat." And it showed an earth. It was so funny. It said, "In your heart, you know it's flat," and it had a picture of the earth. I'm like, "Oh, you're kidding."
Yes, yes. So for the earth being round, you see?
Yeah.
Now, if one day you hear that it's all been one big joke and a conspiracy, you see, and everybody says, fooled you, like that, it is possible to see, yes, it was all just one joke and conspiracy. Nobody has gone to space. It's all been just, like the conspiracy theorists
yes,
saying
I'm aware
that
of them.
it's actually been flat.
Yep.
It is still possible to change our mind about it. But for the question, so is the question, are you aware now, the same as is the world flat? Is the world flat depends on some conceptual knowing. But is this question, are you aware now, also dependent on what you've heard about it? Or can you check now?
No, I can check the second, and I know I'm aware. I don't need anything to tell me I'm aware now, because I know I'm aware now.
Yes. So this knowing of awareness, you see, can you elaborate on that?
I don't know if I have the words for it, but there's clearly a sense of knowing, for lack of a better word.
Yes.
That it's coming through the head, from the back of the head and coming out The front of the forehead and the eyes.
What is coming out from there?
The awareness or the knowingness. The perception. For lack of these, I don't know. These words are just words. They don't seem to be expressing what it really is.
That's very important, you see, because we have to look at all of these things. So there can be a sense that the phenomenal perceiving is happening through the senses, or it's located spatially somewhere. But what about that which is aware of this, also aware of this? Is that also on the back of your head?
No, actually it isn't.
Yeah.
It's not. No,
Where is this one?
It's
Where
just
is
around. It's just here. Like all that is the perception, the head and the eyes and everything is within it. It doesn't need my body to be.
Yes, but is it here? Is it here? Awareness is here?
Of course, there's nowhere it isn't. There is nowhere that awareness is not.
So if I was to get an analysis of the air around me done, you would find some awareness in that?
Probably not. Oh. I don't know how you find it, but I just know it's there.
How is this known?
How is this known? Oh my God. Well, the flippant answer is that you say so and Rupert says so. That's the flippant answer.
Yes, that's why it's important that I'm asking the questions now.
I know.
So
it's a good thing you didn't ask this question like 3 months ago. I might have hung up on you.
and many who are joining new might also leave now, which is fine. But I feel it's very important, you see, because, and this is what I meant by, I want to bring all of you to a point where you're just looking for yourself, you see, and you're able to directly experience or even go beyond experience to see the truth in what is being spoken. You see? So there is some value to faith, and there's some value to trust, and you trust me enough to believe me when I say that awareness is all there is, fundamentally. But now I want that to become your living experience.
I would love it to be my living experience.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yes, I'd love that. That would be fantastic.
Very good. So this question, are you aware now, is for this. It is a very potent tool for this. And you are seeing already that we are breaking through some concepts about awareness. So we said that awareness is everywhere. We say that in every satsang. But is it, when we say everywhere, do we mean spatially? Do we mean that it is in the air around me? What do we mean by awareness is everywhere?
There is nothing without awareness.
Pitri says, okay, let's go to Pitri for a while and then come back to Lucia.
Okay.
It's okay.
That there is nothing without the awareness of it, without the knowing of it, experientially.
How can we say that just because I'm not aware of something, it doesn't exist?
Is that not your direct experience? Is that not your truest experience? Experientially, isn't it?
Yeah, but what about your experience?
That is my experience. That's why I ask you.
No, they're just using everything I say. But this one was doing it even before the questioning started. He was telling me yesterday that, oh, my experience is that in deep sleep this consciousness goes away and in the waking state it is born? And I said yes. Yes.
For the previous question,
Yes, yes. Say, give the mic.
I can like ask all those who say that
Turn it on.
there is nothing exists outside of my perception or outside of my awareness. So I just like to throw.
Is there a difference between perception and awareness?
Like I said it in a more like a worldly
Yeah, but
sense.
I'm asking you now.
Yes, of course, there is a difference between perception and awareness. Perception is kind of a like you need some medium. Okay, there is an awareness of perception or perceiving.
Yes. Yes.
And that makes a difference.
Very good. So coming back to that same question, to the touching of the flower, is there a distinction between saying I'm aware of the flower and a distinction between I'm aware of the touch of the flower?
So there is difference between saying that I am aware of the flower and I am aware of the touch of the flower. So fundamentally, awareness or knowing knows nothing but knowing. For example, in this experience of touching a flower,
yes,
what does knowing know? Knowing knows the touch of a flower as knowing.
What does this mean?
It means, I don't know how to describe it, but it means that awareness
It's
only sees
beautiful.
awareness.
I want to prod you a little more.
It means awareness sees nothing but awareness.
So there is no difference between sleep and waking? You see, because if you realize the implications of what you're saying, then you're truly saying that the creation never happened.
No, I didn't say that. Even
I'm
the
saying that if all that awareness fundamentally knows is itself, is knowingness of itself, knowing itself, you see, then what is the point of any creation?
even while the creation happened, the split didn't happen. So I also wanted to insert this question into the contemplations that were going on earlier.
Yes.
That did we ever have an unreal experience, or in other words, does anyone have ever experienced an unreal experience? And according to my contemplations, I would say that I never had an experience which was unreal, including the dream experiences.
Yes. But that's because the definition itself is that if it is an experience, then it is real for you.
Yes, yes, of course. And from that perspective, that even though in the waking and in the dream and in the sleep, there seems to be a change in appearance. But if we look from the perspective of the knowing, of the awareness of it. Okay, I'm sorry.
Let's look deeper at this. This is a very beautiful contemplation, because I have noticed that it's popular sometimes to confuse that which is the functioning of consciousness, which is the phenomenal perceiving, with the primal awareness itself. And although fundamentally the phenomenal perceiving is also made up of awareness as with everything else, but in the play it does appear differently. You see, that's why the question of to be aware of the flower, aware of the existence of a flower in front of me, is different from to be aware of the touch of the flower. To be aware of the seeing of the flower is qualitatively different from the touching of the flower, you see? Not for awareness, but in the play of consciousness. So there is along with the other forces, there are these sensory abilities that come, which belong to consciousness, you see, which is also, like you said, the split never happened, you see, but there is this primal awareness which is aware of the phenomenal perceiving, which remains untouched, isn't it? So we must be able to look at these things also.
But I feel it is very much true to say that, like the most fundamental experience, like my hand.
Yeah.
So I think it would be mad to say this, but I feel myself that in my experience I could say that my hand is like made up of awareness.
Yes. Yes. Why is it mad and why is it not mad?
So it is mad because, like, for obvious reasons, like, are you crazy? It is made up of flesh and bones and experiences and sensations. And I would say that all of those things are made up of what?
Of what?
Without it. So, like, if we go on unraveling, deepening, then at the base of it, at the base of any experience, we find that there is awareness.
Yes.
And that's the bottom of the ocean below which we can't go.
Yes. Very beautiful.
Father, there was the question that I wanted to
throw
at.
No, I'm not doing any work today.
Who was saying that, like, outside my perception, nothing exists. And to say that it exists would be a belief, would be an assumption. So it's just a very, like, a 8th class student question, like a childish question that I would like to ask them. That I can't see ultraviolet light. Does it mean ultraviolet light doesn't exist?
Does it experientially doesn't exist? That's the question.
Yeah, so experientially I cannot see ultraviolet light, means I can't feel it, I can't see it.
Yeah.
Or is it just an idea?
So you mean to say...
Is it a concept that you heard?
So you...
Just like the bird is wrong. Do you actually know that? Have you been to 100 places?
So at best I can say that I don't know.
Yeah,
but I cannot claim that I know for sure that it doesn't exist only because I don't experience it.
We are not talking about concept here. We are talking about your direct experience. That's the only thing we are doing here. So that's why there's no room for concept. Yeah. That's the only thing we ever do. Yeah.
But you yourself started by saying that nothing exists out of my perception.
It's like two different point of view of
Yes.
that no one ever experienced. Like experientially I can't feel ultraviolet light, I can't see ultraviolet light, but scientifically we know that ultraviolet light exists.
Because you're talking about content of experience. Yes. Yeah. And like play with it. But it's not really what we are talking about. Just like,
Can we look at this for just a minute? So when we see that so those who know a lot of concepts, they can be called intellectual. You see? So I'm not putting down the intellectual understanding. You see? So you could say that many who know a lot of things, scientists, intellectuals, they bring some value when they appear, completely fine. Those who had direct experience of that which they are speaking about, you see, those can be called wise. You see? So we're going from intellectually knowing a lot of things to having a direct experience of what is being spoken about, which is not restrictive. We can still say that intellectually I know about the existence of this and the existence of that, but it is not my direct experience. You see? But those who speak about what they have experienced directly without relying on just intellectual concepts or otherwise, and those who have come to this knowing of knowingness itself, awareness of awareness itself, you see, which is the fundamental starting point for everyone actually. But when the being in all of this is part of the play, when the being is coming to the recognition that it is made up of this awareness, the knowing of this knowingness, you see, then those can be called the sages, isn't it? Because you come to the fundamental workings of this universe. So we go from intellectual, conceptual knowing to relying on more and more our direct experience, and then fundamentally coming to this awareness of awareness, which we cannot even call an experience actually, but because there is no word to describe it, we can say it's a non-phenomenal experience. You see? So when we come to this non-phenomenal experiencing of ourselves, you see? So what both of you said is not wrong, you see, but we're talking at different levels. So there can be a conceptual understanding that something exists. There is gravity. There are oxygen molecules and carbon molecules in the air. We can know these things intellectually. You see, so those that can be part of our intellectual understanding. Then we are moving to our direct experience of what is seen, because coming to the direct experience is what brings clarity. You see, and then when we go beyond even experience, I feel the final experience that we can really talk about is available through the question, can you stop being? You can experience your own presence, your own being. There's nothing, at least that I have found, which is more primal than that. And yet, when we ask, are you aware now? Or who is aware of awareness? This recognition, we cannot, I mean, we can call it non-phenomenal experience, but it's not really even an experience, isn't it? You see? Okay, so just to wrap up some things, many threads have been opened today. So what are we saying? We're saying that there is this awareness, which is unmoving, untouched. You see? Non-phenomenal. Even to say that I exist at that point will seem like a fallacy, because even the existence of existence is not there yet. It is just this I that remains, with no qualities, no attributes. And things like suffering, problems, all of this cannot really, we cannot suffer in our sleep state, you see. Isn't it? So in deep sleep, there is no concept of anything at all. Then what happens? For some unexplained reason, although many can give many reasons, but let's say for unverifiable reasons, within this awareness, and therefore made up of awareness itself, there is a sense of existence. I am. You see? this I am consciousness, God's presence, Sadguru, whatever you like to call it, beingness, appears. The Atma, the presence of this Atma, and the light of this Atma, the cause of, we can say, the one cause of all creation, or we can say in the light of this presence, I am. So we go from Atma to atom, which is also derived from this, you see, Atma. So, which was like the fundamental building block according to the ones who named it like that, you see. So, in the light of this presence comes the world of atoms and molecules and all the other forces which are the phenomenal experience. So, awareness presenting itself qualitatively as consciousness and yet unchanged in itself, then projecting upon itself, consciousness projecting upon itself this world of atoms and molecules and light and fire and belief and identity and attention, all of this phenomenal perceiving of sight and hearing and taste, all of this is born. You see? Even now, there is no suffering, no trouble, no problems. You see? So we've gone from awareness, playing as consciousness, projecting onto itself this entire realm of this world, this universe. You see? Yeah. But what happens is that the power of belief, its power to pretend. So when these thoughts come and belief is going to it, then this Atma itself is now pretending to play as if it is a person. You see? And with the imagined creation of this personal identity come all the problems, suffering, trouble, ideas, you see? Ideas about how life should be, the resistance to what is, all of this is personal, you see? So most are involved in just this personal trouble. Even the seeker identity is an attribute of the person itself. you see? So this person, and then there is the sense of not only am I a person, but everyone around me is also a person, society and population and government, and how should the world function, those kind of problems which are also fundamentally personal but seem like collectively personal. You see? So we've gone from one undivided awareness playing as this I am presence, projecting this world of atoms and molecules, and then using the power of its own power to pretend or belief, pretending as if it's one of the objects which is found here, leading to what is called the ego or the personal identity. And then maybe in the final most distracting trick of the mind itself, of the separate identity itself, presuming that not only am I a separate person, but all these other beings which seemingly appear also are individual persons in themselves. Okay. You know that consciousness does not hold a grudge.
No, no. No, I just wanted to say that I do believe, I also do believe that like Earth is round and that there's ultrasound.
Yeah.
I believe all this stuff, and I don't find anything wrong with believing that.
Yeah. Yes, that's in the intellectual realm, isn't it? The knowing of these concepts.
It's not only for the intellectual, it's like the only truth that I can be certain of is
Yeah.
I exist, like my consciousness.
Yeah.
And apart from that, whatever is present in this appearance could be said as like is perceived through senses, so could be illusory. So
Exactly.
whether, like for example, whatever we see through our physical eyes is seen, like if we like see scientifically, then it is the visible light is just a very tiny spectrum in the whole
Exactly.
spectrum of light
Exactly.
wavelength. So I was just saying that whatever is appearing in the realm of experiences, we cannot assert its truthness or truth or
Truthiness,
validity,
yes.
or can be certain of its falsehood
Yeah.
or unreality.
Yes.
So like apart from saying I exist and apart from saying that
Yes.
I means awareness or knowing, there is nothing I can be certain of.
Yes. This is a very beautiful contemplation if you're open to contemplating this. To say whether something is true or not, first we must have some understanding of what we mean by truth. You see? So I won't spoil it for you. There's some contemplations that have happened here, but I want to hear your report first. What is it that you mean by truth? So maybe we can take this as some homework.
Quickly say one thing as well about, like, say, ultraviolet light and things like that, because it's like there's certain aspects which, for example, like knowing you exist or knowing that you know you exist, which are absolutely true, which have never changed. And then there's also certain intellectual concepts, which, like, concept doesn't have to be used negatively, like they're also true, but really they just seem to be true. And I don't think there's any scientific discovery or understanding or concept that has remained true, that stood the test of time and remained true, because if you look at it, you know, originally, like maybe more in like pagan times of humanity, it was like believed that, you know, if you didn't make a sacrifice to the sun god or something, then your crops would fail. And so in like the light of, say, like Newtonian physics or something like that, that's just laughable, and it's like, it's ridiculous, it's all atoms and molecules and we can see it. And then more recently there's been things like unified field theory, quantum mechanics and that type of thing, which actually are moving closer towards a non-dual understanding, I think. Certainly like unified field, where that's basically that I am, but they don't want to call it that. Still some idea of the scientists wanting to hang on to that personal idea or something. But so even that has completely wiped out the Newtonian point of view. Even though they still teach it in schools, they're saying, like, it's ridiculous, we can see now that that's not the way the universe works. And, you know, quantum, that's it, that's got to be it, like, that's the real cutting edge. But in 100 years' time, we'll probably be howling with laughter saying, God, like, facepalm, did we really believe that that was how it worked? Because then we've had this discovery and this discovery. So there's these seeming truths which constantly change. So that, I think, can also, like, help that inquiry of what is actually true and what do I mean by true. Because even if you look across the sort of time scale of all of that, has the knowing I exist changed, or has the knowing I know I exist ever changed? Is that have ever been subject to new discoveries or new new insights can be there obviously about how it expresses, but ultimately has the nature of it ever changed? Has there ever been the latest discovery about awareness or the latest discovery about being?
Very good. Okay, Aparna wanted to come also. Aparna is still here?
Yes, Father.
Yes, Father.
Namaste, Father.
Namaste, namaste, my dear.
So you're going to ask me questions?
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Are you really aware of awareness?
Are you really aware of awareness? This is a
Because we are progressing like that. No? We've gone from personal thoughts, mind, suffering, then we looked at phenomenal perceiving beingness, then we looked at the unchanging awareness. You see? So now this awareness, when we talk about awareness, are we just speaking conceptually? And we also said it can't really be an experience, but it seemed like a non-phenomenal experience. So can you shed some light on this?
Since everything, I'll try my best to give the answer to what my understanding is. Since
Yes,
everything
yes.
comes out of this awareness, only in this light of this awareness, everything is seen. So everything what is in this light of awareness is also made of awareness. So that way, if you see, everything is awareness. There's nothing apart from awareness. So your question was, is awareness always aware of itself, right?
No, my question was, are you really aware of awareness?
When you say you, what are
Yeah.
you referring to as?
you, the one that wanted to come up next.
No, not really. That way, no. See,
Okay, then.
what else? You have to be specific, so that way. No, not that way, no.
Okay, which way? Yes.
The little I cannot be aware of
Okay.
awareness. It's not possible, but awareness can be aware of itself. Does that answer your question, Father?
How can I make this my living experience? You see.
You don't have to make it as a living experience because it's already your living experience. You can't make it because it's already so. All you have to do is drop that you want to make it.
I don't see it. Can you help me see it?
Are you aware now?
Yes, I'm aware. Yeah.
Is it conceptually you're aware, or you not just no, conceptually saying yes, I know, I'm aware? No, not. Is that your experience? It's
I don't
not
know.
phenomenal experience.
What do you mean conceptually?
It can be in the mind, but if you have had a repetition or even the concepts have been so used popularly now, so it could be like, okay, yes, I am aware. Just because we use the word aware doesn't really, conceptually the word cannot be real awareness. It's like that. Like the word water cannot quench your thirst, you know. So it's you have to drink water. Water cannot quench your thirst. It's that thing. So if you say I am, but is it your experience or you're just?
I don't know. Maybe it's just conceptual.
So you can check now if you like.
How to check?
How can you be not aware? Otherwise, how will you answer to my question?
I didn't say I'm not. I said how to check.
How to check? Are you aware now?
Yes, the mind is coming up with the answer yes.
No.
Now you see my struggle every day.
That's right. It's a two-way learning now. It's a two-way learning.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're aware that your mind is coming up, right? You can see that your mind is coming up.
Yes.
That's where you catch the point.
Wow.
So can you see that you can see the mind is coming?
I can see the mind is saying yes or no or whatever. Yes.
The one which sees this is the aware.
I cannot find such a one.
There is nothing you can find. It's not something you can see phenomenally. You can't see like you're seeing me or computer or these flowers or whatever.
Then what's the point of it? Then what's the point of it?
But the point is not for the mind. The point is not for the mind at all. There's no point for the mind at all. In fact, there's no point at all actually. But that's the whole point.
Satsang is pointless.
It is pointless in a way. Yeah.
She's right, you know. She's right.
Not to discourage, but that's the actual truth. There is no anything required to know yourself. Right now, right here, you are already that without any conditioning. Even no matter what conditioning you have, still you are only that. If you take out all the imaginations or all the conditioning, everything, just for a moment, you drop everything and see what you are. Without any labels, no judgments, no names, nothing about it. Just for a moment. Totally present in this moment. That's it. That is you. That is your true nature. Doesn't matter what mind is saying, forget about it. It's like a noise somewhere far, you know.
Then Aparna Ma, how is it that then Ma, what is the difference? What is the difference between us? They seem like there is some difference between us, no? What is the difference
Don't
between?
Give me any title enough. Don't label me at all, please.
Okay. Well, then the unlabelable one. What is the difference between us?
There's actually no difference. It's just an appearance which we see. It's an expression of the same awareness. It's just there's actually no difference. Maybe physically, so to say, or phenomenally, so to say, yes, we can say that you're a man and I'm a woman and you're talking to me and all those things we can say. But then actually there isn't any difference. It's the same essence what's running through.
Very good. Why does it still feel like I'm suffering? When things happen in my family and things like this, why does it still feel like I'm suffering?
Just 1 minute, and my daughter is. Hang on, sweetie, I'll come up. Give me 5 minutes, I'm coming. That's also kind of imagination. There is actually no suffering. Even if you say, okay, there's immense suffering in your family, but can you check if right now if there's any suffering? If you don't think about it, or if you actually not talk about it to me, do you think right now if you're suffering? You're laughing, so it doesn't mean that you're actually suffering.
Very good, very good, very good, very good.
Father, I've gone beyond everything. I don't know.
It's very good. It's very good.
I don't know. My heart was beating fast.
Very good. I'm getting all of you to say these things so I can say, remember what you told me the other day?
Yeah, but everything comes to this moment, Father, so I don't remember my past. So even if I would have said something to him.
Yeah, you said your daughter is Advaita policing you and my daughter is Advaita policing me.
Hang on. Ananta ji. No, okay. He wants to know whom I'm talking to.
Yes, yes. Very good.
I don't know. This is the understanding, Father. So all the everything is dropped, and then even if something comes up, even the experience is not given any importance now, because I've crossed that. I've gone beyond that experience also now. Anything comes up, it's not necessary that you have to say, and it's beautiful place where I am actually at the moment, and yeah, and that's it.
Very good.
Thank you so much, Father. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear.
Sorry for everything.
No.
Thank you so much for helping me too.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Father, can I ask a very small thing? Leave every knowledge apart. Consciousness, awareness, books, everything apart.
Yes.
I know nothing. My only experience is I woke up, okay, and then suddenly I know I woke up. So third, within me, I woke up. This is the only experience. This is the only experience. Then I know I slept. I know that I dreamt. I was dreaming. Other than this, there is absolutely no experience.
Yeah.
I know nothing about awareness, consciousness, or nothing.
Yeah.
So when I woke up, I know I woke up, and then there was this appearance. That's all. And then the one who woke up in me is basically, having all this play. This means that within me, I am playing, and there is an appearance actually of the play. Other than this, there is no. If somebody prompts me to look, then I will say, okay, the waking is a transitory phase. Suppose I did not know Ramana. Okay.
Okay. Don't go too far now. I think we are at a beautiful point. Pause here. You see? So you say that basically all the extent of my experiencing is this waking, dream, sleep. All these states are coming and going, and all that you said within that. You see? Okay. Now, what is the question in that?
The question is, I know I woke up.
Yes.
Now, it's a very simple, plain language and experience.
Yes.
The I who knows,
Yes.
and the I who woke up,
Yes.
are they the same I?
Very good. So now look at this question and contemplate the answer.
In a very simple language, if I don't use the mind, it's a very natural thing. It's
Yes.
a very natural thing
Yes.
that I know. In fact, I was not even aware that I know. Earlier,
Yes.
it was just I woke up.
Yes.
Now I know that I woke up.
Mm.
Okay, and then when I woke up, all this thing is happening naturally. You know,
Yes.
whatever is required to happen is happening naturally according to my conditioning. I am reacting. Other people are reacting. There is no question of whether it is one or whether it is transient or temporary. I mean, there
Yes.
is no such questions. It is all very naturally. Everything is
Very good.
happening.
Very good.
I mean, other than this, is there anything required to be known? Frankly, yeah, then who am I? Whether I am God or I am mortal, whether this body, it is so natural for 7 billion people. Everybody knows that the body is born and body will die. That's
Mm.
all.
Mm.
Everybody suffers. Everybody is happy. All these things are so natural. I mean, all the part of the play.
Mm.
Is it not natural? I mean,
Everything is very natural. Yes.
then what is the problem? Just because I suffer,
That is my question.
so then
What is,
who wants to know something who is suffer? Father, my question is very, very straight and very, very simple to the ground. The thing is, I see my thoughts coming and going and all these things. If the unmanifested is same as the manifested, then we say the contents of the manifestation, basically, we don't have to get caught in this. Because if we get caught in this, then the consciousness as a person suffers. I am saying everything is Him. Everything is awareness. There is no illusion, there is no bondage, and there is no liberation. Everything, the water in the mirage, okay, is as real, basically, just because it is not dependent on the perception. If my attention goes to something and I perceive and there is a knowingness of this perception of an object, does not mean that it is only my experience. It does not mean that out of the 24 hours, if for 10 hours I am awake, then this word is basically for me exists, and then it goes back into this again into the heart, or whether whether the word was there, or I mean, which one is the truth, and all. Is there really a need to know all this?
mm.
No, no,
Yeah.
I'm asking from your perspective. I'm sure, in fact, all these things must be there in your mind also.
Yeah. Yeah. See, it depends on what your affliction is. You see. Now, if you're not been going out in the sun, then I will say take vitamin D. You see. You see. So depending, if you say that this is clear, that all of these states, waking, dream, and sleep, are coming and going within me. You see, I see myself as this unchanging one. There is no difference. It makes no difference. All is like water in the mirage, which is as real as what it is made up of. Then there is no need for a doctor at all.
Yeah, but you know what happens then? The conventions about the gurus or the gods or the power, you know, it breaks. I hope what I'm saying you understand. Then
Whatever you can say about the conventions are only appearances within the waking state, isn't it? So you
that
already
is
said,
what I'm that
yeah,
is what I'm saying, Father. If
yeah,
you ask me at this moment, there is nothing apart from me.
yes.
But that would look a very arrogant thing, because after this satsang, my behavior will be totally different, by which I will be just.
Why will the behavior be different?
Then it will be a play, no? It will be a play. It will be a play actually.
Has it not been? You already said that all that is happening in the waking state has always been very natural, all been playing on its own. Now why will there be a change? The realization is that it has always been this way, no?
Yeah, but there is no defined way.
Yes, exactly.
It is always
Exactly.
flux.
Exactly. Yes, so we don't know if it will be different or same. It's not defined, you see.
Yeah, yeah. The one basically who is playing is within me.
Yes.
It is my child.
Mm.
It is my child. I can say
Yeah.
that. Now this child is playing. Okay. The only bottleneck is that when I am the child or when I am the father, and this illusion has to break. This illusion that I keep shifting as the child and as the father is again a appearance in me. Again, it is an appearance in me, but my truth is not dependent upon the movement of the attention and the perception or the
Yeah.
perceived.
Yes.
So, when I'm taking a position of the father, I know that I'm taking the position of the father, and that itself is an appearance. When I'm taking the position of the child, I know that I'm taking the position of the child. The knower of the father and the child basically is also an appearance.
How does it appear? The knower of the father appears how?
The knower of the father, it is the same thing, no?
How does it appear?
The father, the awareness basically, or the seer,
You say the knower of the father is also an appearance. I am asking you how the knower of the father appears.
so it looks like the father, fa, then it looks like even the father is an appearance. Because if I know that the knower of the father is an appearance, then the father itself, what I thought was the father, is an appearance.
Yes. So how does the knower of the father appear?
I cannot answer this, but I know.
You know it's an appearance, but you don't know how it appears.
I don't know how I know. I don't know how it appears. Both.
But you know it's an appearance.
Yeah, I know it is an appearance. Because
How is this known? If you don't know, then how can you know?
I'm all, I, I don't use my mind at all here now. All open talk from the heart. I don't pretend
Listen.
anything.
Okay, let's not get confused. Either the knower of this entire play, you see, is an appearance, or it is not. You say that I know it is an appearance. The one that knows of all appearances, is that an appearance? That is the question. And don't rush to any conclusions. And don't try to escape this question. You see?
No, it is. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to contemplate about it. It is very clear. The knower of the appearance,
Yeah.
okay, might sound stationary, because it has to be stationary. But this stationary knower is also known. That is what I'm saying.
Yes, but is it an appearance?
Which one? The knower of the appearance.
Yes, you say the knower of the Father and the Son is also an appearance. Is this true? Is this your direct experience?
No, not direct experience. It is only a mental contemplation. If I am the father, I am the father. There is nothing behind me.
So now let it, if you want to, although I have told you not to inquire and only surrender, but if there is really a feeling to inquire, you see, then really look at this question, and I feel you've unraveled so much of it. Only this point, if you can contemplate and see, you said that the knower of all appearances is also an appearance. You see? So can you rely on your own direct seeing and report this to be a fact?
Yes, Father. I report it to be a fact.
Yes. So what is the meaning of appearance? An appearance means has at least one attribute, isn't it? Can we say that which has no attributes also is an appearance?
Yes. Yes.
How will you say something with no attributes is an appearance? How does it appear?
I don't know, but I'm telling you the intuition. There is a sense. There is a sense here. There is a sense here that forget about father and child. That I know I woke up. I know that I woke up,
Yes.
but I'm also aware of. I know I woke up.
Yes. Yes. So this is awareness of awareness, appearance of awareness. When awareness is aware of itself, is it aware of itself as an appearance? That is the question, isn't it? Thank you, my dear.
The awareness of the if okay. So what is getting confused is that something which is aware of itself, is it a seer and a seen relationship?
Yes, so if it was an appearance, then there would be a subject of that appearance. Here you're saying that it is aware of itself, self-aware. So I'm saying now, you say it is an appearance. I'm saying it is non-phenomenal. So you don't have to just believe what I'm saying, you have to look. What are the attributes of this appearance if awareness also is an appearance?
Both are attributeless, but there seems to be a kind of a qualitative difference between the two. I don't know why it is appearing as a qualitative. From where is this separation coming between the awareness itself? Awareness itself.
Okay. So this is my advice to you. Contemplate this question, and you have to be vigilant for yourself. The minute you start finding it very mindy and anxious and confusing and all of that, drop it and surrender. Okay? Huh? So don't let it become something, and tomorrow I don't want to see a very anxious Anil who's like, full of confusion about awareness and things like that. If it becomes heavy or something, just drop it. Yeah? As it is, my primary advice to you is to surrender. You see? So, but if I feel there's some momentum to look at this question, contemplate this question. You say that it seems like between awareness aware of itself, the awareness and itself seems to be qualitatively different. So try to see if you can find the qualitative distinction. I'll be very happy to hear an answer which is coming from your direct experience, direct seeing. You see, very happy, very open to hearing that.
Thank you, Father. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mate.
Even this inquiry, the attempt of it, the finding, the process of it, the result of it, all this is offered at Sadhguru's feet.
Very good, very good, very good, very good, very good. Oh, we lost the moderator. Okay, he's coming back. He'll come back. He asked you?
Yeah, like if he's intent, I should like take over.
I see. We'll just see. He's come. Good. Enough grilling for. Not enough. It's good. That's the idea, no? What would be the fun? What would be the new exploration, discovery if you're not on your toes? There is new format of satsang. Jutika came late, so I said I'm tired of answering questions. I will ask because for 3 years everybody has made me work. Okay, can you contemplate this and give me the answer? It's been very good for me. This is good. Yeah, we should do more of this. Yeah, I feel really yes, 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 yes. And it's not a force. I want to let everyone know that if some just want to come and experience the presence of satsang and just sit quietly, then that is fine. Nobody is going to force you to come and inquire or come and answer. Yeah. I might sometimes, with those who've been in the sangha with me for a long time, I might sometimes seem like it is a force. But if you just want to come and marinate in the presence of satsang, that is also completely welcome.
I have to say, it might sound completely arrogant.
See the mic?
This might sound really arrogant, so slap away if it is, but I think that...
Ready?
Yeah, ready. I think just coming and listening, like, as you say, initially just experiencing the presence, but I think it can become laziness really quickly, where it's just like there's this expectation where we turn up and we sit and we listen, and obviously there's an energy field which is making something happen, but there's just this like laziness and unwillingness to look, and I think it's so good. Today has just been like the most alive satsang.
Yes, most alive, isn't it?
Because I felt like everybody's looking and checking, and is it actually true for me, and am I just relying on this, you know, like this stored script of everything that Father says? And I think thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really feel like this is the total cutting edge of
I feel it's very good, very helpful, very helpful. I'm very happy it didn't become too much of a Advaita debate or something like that. You see, usually why maybe it doesn't happen is because there could be this tendency of just conceptual arguing and things like that, which is, at least so far, we've been able to avoid, and also we'll be vigilant for that.
It seems as though there's like that initial conditioning, which is like keep quiet and just listen, which is so important, especially when there's like a tendency to rely heavily on the mind. But as something is becoming more mature inside and you are starting to distinguish, I feel it's really important to drop that identity of just the seeker who just listens and just and actually to stand up inside and say, yes, I am free, and I choose to be free, and I choose to look.
I feel it's very beautiful when you're put in a position where you have to answer. You see, it takes a lot of the clutter away, because you look at it and say no. You see, then something can emerge with some clarity. The looking is deeper. It's like all of you are being put on the hot seat now, isn't it?
We don't know when we're giving it.
Yes, you don't know. Yes. The first few.
Yeah, first few satsang.
Yeah.
That was so direct,
Yes.
and it really removed so much clutter.
Yeah.
Like you were saying.
Yes, it was like that the first few days.
And it's always been like that.
Yes, she didn't say she stopped coming because it became very like monologue, and okay, so now we put up the show just for you, so you can come more. I like teasing my kid.
You know, like you see also like people that think going to satsang for like 10 years being close to the master, and they get stuck on this really silly points because they have been confronted. They just sit in satsang day after day after day after day, and they're just like, what should I do? I do like this, I do this.
Yeah.
That is really good.
And some intuition we'll use, of course, for this, because some are just so devotional in their temperament and they really can feel like all this question answer, they're just not up for it. And they're welcome to continue to come, and they will find that all these words start sounding more and more simple and basic actually as they come. Yes, I feel we can continue this format for some time. It's good. Okay. Thank you all so very much for being in Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Muji Ji ki Jai.
Sadguru Shri Ananta Ji ki
Jai.